Like mayo? Would you sneak some mayo in?
No.
Danielle will
throw it right out the building.
she'll start heaving right now if you start talking about mayo.
Why don't you give up mayo for Lent?
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Alex Guarnaschelli finally showed up.
Yes!
We love Alex.
We do.
Every chance we get.
Thank you. I love this.
I don't know what that means. You know, it was about exactly a year ago, Alex Guarnaschelli was with us, one of our favorite celebrity chefs, one of our favorite restaurant owners, but also talking about what Nutella is doing for the bravest women and men in New York City.
Absolutely.
And across the country.
Yeah. And so I'm so happy to partner with Nutella on this. First of all, let's talk about Nutella for 22 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, love the cocoa-y hazelnut spread that we all know and love. It's just like, it's as iconic as you, honestly, right?
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, we're going to take that.
Start calling him Nutella.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of sad about this conversation about Nutella? Danielle gave up chocolate for Lent.
Yes,
and there's
and we
cocoa.
looked up the ingredients. There's cocoa in it, so I can't even have it until Easter.
But can you play the hazelnut note and just say that cocoa is kind of adjacent to...
No.
God will forgive you. That's what he's about, I've heard.
I have to be good.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. But, at the end,
Yeah, so
you'll
at the
get
end,
in
I'll
there.
have a whole jar, thank you.
Every town and every community has a fire department or has a volunteer fire department or whatever. And Nutella they came up with this brilliant idea. Go ahead, Alex. Tell me.
Yeah, it's called. So you can find out all the information about this at NutellaStacksForGivingBack.com. It obviously references a stack of pancakes. You can nominate your local firehouse by going to NutellaStacksForGivingBack.com, or you can go on the Nutella Instagram page. It's a wonderful. We already have over 10,000 nominations, by the way, of local firehouses. I just want to start there.
So what happens?
So you nominate your local firehouse to win. Essentially, kits that provide absolutely everything you need to host your next pancake breakfast at your local firehouse, which is a huge way that firehouses raise money for everything they need. I mean, you don't realize how expensive firefighting is. The helmets, the equipment, everything.
The Dalmatians.
Yeah. I knew you would.
Expensive.
Yes. Very pricey. But it's sort of like, okay, so let me get this straight. I have some Nutella that I absolutely love that's delicious. I nominate my local firehouse, which is what you do when you love your community. And all of it benefits this wonderful cause that begets more fundraising, more dollars for firefighters nationally. I mean, it's just kind of like, what are we doing? Let's do it now, everyone.
What a great idea. I never thought of this. I love people that come up with original ideas like this that actually can make a difference. Because I've never had an original idea ever.
I love when food and the relationship between food and philanthropy and deliciousness all intersect. I mean, chefs are, we like to give back. We like to do things, that benefit people that need it most, right? Now, look, if you know a chef, send them to the local spa to get a foot rub and be nice to them. But firefighters, let's do some fundraising and let's do it through stacks of pancakes and Nutella. Sounds like a plan to me. But already this many nominations, it's sort of something that just runs itself because it's lovely. Yeah.
Simply go to check out Nutella on Instagram, or the website again you can go to nominate your local firehouse is
NutellaStacksForGivingBack.com.
I love that.
How are you going to pick winners out of these 10,000 people?
They're going to be just drawn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, random.
Okay.
That's good.
What's that, Nate?
She made that for you.
You made this for... Oh, what is this? Oh,
looks
my God, a
delicious.
frittata just fell out of the sky.
Oh. And
my
look at
gosh.
the thing. What's the thing with Nutella on it?
You can't have it.
I know, but what is it?
So in keeping with this project, I made my cinnamon cloud. I call them pancakes. They're fluffy because they have egg whites, whipped egg whites mixed into them to make them fluffy. And you kind of steam them, right? You put them with a lid.
Oh, my God.
So you have hints of cinnamon in there because I love cinnamon with the cocoa hazelnut notes of Nutella. And then, I don't know, it's just good. I wanted to make my own pancake as a way of being a part of this. So this is my stack for giving back.
Okay, Danielle can't eat it, and now Gandhi can't eat it.
No, you can't do this.
Gandhi
you can't even make eye
eat it.
contact.
It has cinnamon.
Yeah.
Gandhi is of Indian descent and doesn't eat cinnamon. Is that the weirdest thing you've ever heard?
No, I get it.
Thank
By
you.
the way, the most popular spice in American spice stores is...
I don't know what.
Oregano?
It better not be cilantro.
what
I
is it?
hate
What is it?
cilantro.
Well, I thought you would say cinnamon, which is why I brought it up.
Cinnamon.
But
Oh,
it's
okay.
but it's not. It's actually cumin.
Oh.
I love
Yeah.
cumin.
Indian food always has cumin in it. We love that.
I love cumin.
Yeah.
And I
think
sort
they
of
flip
didn't
this
believe
over?
this, so I go into everyone's, when I'm at my friends' houses, I'm like, let me see your spice drawer. Let me do an audit. You know what I'm saying? But cinnamon is just so intoxicating to us. Apple pie, nostalgia, donuts. I feel like we've got a lot of cinnamon in our DNA. No, you can't do it.
I did. I flipped
can't
over
do
the
it.
pancake and ate the bottom.
They're gonna
Look,
know.
There's no Nutella. There's no Nutella.
I hear the police pulling up.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good.
She's going to hell for other reasons, so I'm not worried about it.
There's no Nutella on my piece.
So thank you so much, Nutella, for this incredible endeavor. And by the and before we say goodbye, we'll remind everyone of where to go to nominate their favorite firehouse. Now we've got things to talk to Alex about. Okay, if you listen to our show live from Atlantis in the Bahamas,
Ugh.
our friend Lee Schrager actually stormed on set and demanded to be the co-host of the show.
Kicked in
He
the door.
took over and just sat there and just hurled acidic insults at all of us
Yeah.
for 4 hours, especially me.
Can you call that a love language?
Well, I'll
Yes.
tell you this: the listeners loved him, thought he was great, and it pissed me off. Like, how can you love this guy?
Yeah.
Lee
I
Schrager
adore
is
him.
what?
I think I adore him because I told you I believe his love language is hate, and when he does that to you, he's just telling you he loves you in very mean ways.
I think
Alex and Lou are best friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are very different. Careful, Anna Navarro's his best friend. I'm a second string bestie, but I will say that I don't know if hate's the right word. I want to say like he has a discerning. Can we call it a highly discerning eye when he scans a room? And I think
He's
just
a bougie bitch.
yeah, he's got those little. He just makes those little observations, if you will, musings
Yeah.
about the world, and they generally often happen to include you. Like, oh, that's a nice shirt. Why are you wearing it? You know, those kinds of moments where you just say, yes, if I did like myself, now I don't.
Lee says things to me like, "Oh, Elvis, I like that shirt. I used to dress like that before my family got jobs."
That's totally what he said.
Every time I wear a baggy shirt, he'll go, "Oh, you're wearing your fat schmata."
Yeah,
Hate him.
yeah.
Love
Gotta
him.
love him.
So anyway, so keep that in mind. If you heard Lee Schrager the other day, she knows the ins and outs of this. My new arch and nemesis is what he is.
Yeah,
like
really. I think he's gunning for your gig. Honestly, I would really.
Totally
so
is.
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
That would last.
We got to double down. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we got to get him. We got to get him out on a yacht, very far at sea, for a little while.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yes, only.
Oh, to the middle of the ocean and leave him there. Okay, so your cookbook. This is your 5th cookbook?
Yeah, Italian American forever. My dad always said, when you write a cookbook, make sure the title says who you are. So I thought, you know what? I know that's what I am. And also, I cook a lot of French food. That's really what I'm known for because I trained in France, and that's my sort of DNA. But truthfully, this is the stuff that my parents were making when I was growing up, and I've kind of never addressed it. So this was really easy to write because I was like, oh, there's this whole area that I've just never acknowledged. And it's all these recipes that we read the recipe. How many eggplant parm or chicken parm or lasagna recipes have you read or tried? They never get boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I want a mixed green salad with lemon. Who cares about that recipe? Let's get the lasagna with the layers of meatballs.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
Amen. What is this on the cover?
Yeah, that's a little rigatoni bolognese with the meat sauce and the tomato.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Guilty.
Just something you'd whip up.
So if you want to make sure the title of your cookbook says who you are, Lee Schrager's would be bitch. Anyway,
Wow.
Okay, back to Alex Guarnaschelli.
So wrong.
Oh my God. You've got oh my God, some Tuscan style fried chicken.
Oh, I know how
that's
you
so
love
good.
fried chicken.
I love it.
Pictures
Any-
are beautiful.
Yeah.
Johnny Miller did the photography. He's wonderful. And honestly, when you make the food like you're going to eat it and not for a photograph,
Yeah.
I mean, we were like, let's eat this food. Hurry up and take the picture. I think you can feel that energy in a cookbook.
I love it.
I have a question. When you do something like this and you have to cook every single meal in here and then take photos, how long does it take to make a cookbook?
So I've learned the hard way. The first cookbook I did, I was like, I'll do all the food myself. And what happens is you're so immersed in the ziti or the chicken that you can't kind of see anything beyond that. So I actually worked with a stylist who helped cook, and we put all the food together.
Okay.
It takes a few weeks. It depends. Usually a photo shoot for a book, 8 10, 12 days of just.
Fun, though.
Do you eat
It's so
the food
fun.
after you cook it and take pictures of it?
Nothing gets wasted, let me tell you.
Yeah. And there's a crew there, and they're all eating.
And by the way, if the crew doesn't eat the food, they're like, oh, no, we're good. Then you got a problem. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You're not going on the bestseller list if all the food's left over at the shoot.
Okay.
You know, people are like, thanks for having me. Have a good night. It's been a really good day. You know, when you hear good a lot, you're like, oh, no.
Have you ever had any of your recipes in your cookbooks have the wrong information and no one caught it? Because
Absolutely.
this used to happen to Martha Stewart. People
Oh,
would try to
yeah.
make one of her dishes, and it had like 6 cups of salt in it, and people would actually do it.
I would do anything Martha says. I'd drink the Martha Kool-Aid hardcore.
No, stop. Really?
No, you don't like Martha?
I like Martha, but I just don't think her recipes are all that great.
She has 100 cookbooks.
100?
Did you know that
That's
Martha
too many.
Stewart has published 100
That's too many.
books?
Wow.
She might be at 101 or 102. So you know what I'm going to say? If Martha wants me to put 6 cups of salt in a cake, I'm going to do it.
She seems like the type who would try to punk people and be like, yes, this is how you do it, just to poison them.
Martha is so amazing, honestly. Clipping those roses, just trimming that grass, cares so much, is an expert on everything she talks about. She's like, if you want to get a cockatoo, Alex, this is what you have to know. And I'm like, when I am around her, like on the set of Chopped for a whole day, I take an average of 4 pages of notes.
Really?
Yep. She just is a wellspring of information and an expert on anything she cares about. And
She
I
makes it look
have
so
to admire
effortless.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Effortless.
she does that work. Martha does that work. You know what I mean? She's up
Yeah.
at 4 a.m. in the gym.
Wow.
Can't argue.
All right, a question or two from the Italian expert in the room. Do you, and this has been on our show, very controversial. We're going to get a
Okay.
little deep here.
Okay, I'm getting nervous.
What is your response to people who say they like to take the spaghetti and break it in half before they boil it?
Yeah.
Careful.
Literally, there should be a special place, not on earth, for those people.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
cannot break your pasta. You can't do
Thank
it.
you.
You don't do it.
And
Listen,
you don't have to do it. This is what I don't understand. Eventually, it will go into the pot. I don't get it.
Wait a minute,
buy,
wait a minute,
buy
wait a minute.
a bigger
Excuse me.
pot.
No,
Buy a bigger
no,
pot.
I just want to know, are you saying that you break your pasta? I just want to be clear.
I learned how to break it when I was 7, and I'm breaking it now at 45.
He's a pasta breaker.
So, can you break the habit of you?
Stop doing that.
I can. It's
No.
just one end gets hard, and then the other's...
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
I can't.
He won't even try. Just try
Not
once.
gonna do it.
Okay.
No.
Well, okay.
No, I just
Because
can't have
it's
it.
going to eat differently. It's going to twirl differently.
All those jagged edges from breaking, they're not all the same. It's the integrity of the whole thing.
Right.
Just it's a hard no.
And I think I know your answer to this next one. Because this was like a 15-minute argument on our show with listeners. Do you, when you're filling up your pot to boil your pasta, your non-broken spaghetti, do you fill it with cold water or hot water?
That's not what I thought you were going to ask me. I thought you were going to ask me when I put the salt. So, yes, I do. I always start with cold water and I bring it
Always.
to a boil.
And you know
I
why
do.
you should? There's a technical reason why you should.
Yeah, it's the same as why you boil cold water for tea. But I don't remember what it is.
The hot water comes from the water heater, and it usually has crap in the pipes, and it's been sitting there for a long time. You're not getting the water that's tasting as fresh as you have with cold water. The minerality in the water from your water heater is not good for your palate. And when do you put salt in? All of a
Yeah.
sudden, this is a new one?
Well, I think people say to use salt it because salt will accelerate boiling.
Right, but when do you put yours in? And why?
I bring my water to a boil, and then I put the salt and I stir it, and I let all the salt dissolve, and then I drop the unbroken pasta into the pot, and I taste the water before I put it in to make sure it's a little bit saltier
Right.
than I might like. You're not eating all that salt that's in the water, but you've got to get some salt into the pasta itself. And it actually allows you to salt your sauce and your overall dish a little bit less. So in one way or another, you're going to add that salt, but it's really pasta's so different when the water's salted. And it if you don't put the salt, they can stick when they're cooking. It's a lot of stuff.
Plus-
Just get that kosher salt out and salt that water.
If you're using that salted water that your pasta's been cooking in, that's a nice little salty way to loosen up your pasta that's
Totally.
all gummy and crappy. Like
Okay.
Nate would cook.
Hey, the one time
Here
I
he
did
comes.
try to put the whole strand in there, it caught fire.
Oh, you had like a little burned edge,
Yes.
little
Never again.
Were you cooking like an extra long like linguine in a little
Tiny
pot?
Might have been kind of small.
So get a bigger
Okay,
pot.
okay.
Get a bigger
Yeah, I
pot.
know how much you make.
It works fine.
This
You just
sounds
got
like
new
an
pots.
equipment issue.
Tastes the same.
Nate has an equipment issue. We've heard
All
that
the
from several
time.
people.
Constantly.
Is this like the Lee Schrager school of pasta cookery over here?
Yeah, you know what? Nate is the Lee Schrager of our show because he sounds like he's just mad all the time.
What do you no, I'm not.
He's like a mean old man.
Porky Pig.
Mean old man. What are you loving as far as trends go, as far as new ingredients that people seem to be using more of these days? Or do you even give a flying flip about
Okay,
the trendy things?
First of all, I love supermarkets, grocery stores. It's my great passion in life. It's literally, I'm always in them. I love to see what people are buying, what's being sold, oh, no one's buying oranges today. I just like to know what people are doing.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing that, first of all, we're having one of the greatest citrus seasons I've seen in years. I don't mean to sound like a nerd, but seriously, just go out and buy some oranges and some lemons and some grapefruits and get into it because I can't even believe it. I just keep buying them. Like my daughter's like, why is there a giant bowl of like 82 oranges? And I'm like, but they were so good and they were so pretty. It's like Silence of the Lambs when Clarice was like, I just wanted to take all the lambs. Like I just go to the store and I see the oranges and I'm like, I gotta have them. I gotta have them all.
And they're so decorative too. So there's that.
They're highly decorative.
Okay, so citrus. Let's get into citrus.
Yeah, citrus, pomegranate. I'm seeing a lot of just whole pomegranate on things. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of tahini. You know, the sesame
Oh,
paste.
yes, tahini's everywhere.
I'm seeing people really getting into that. I think we're looking for protein substitutes and nut substitutes a lot. I think tahini checks both those boxes. Chickpeas, so old school, to me, so chic. I love them like fried in a little oil, like crispy little bits on a salad in place of croutons if you're looking to avoid gluten. I feel like we're looking for delicious alternatives. People are like, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, fish-free, meat-free, and grain-free.
Yes.
What can I have? And I'm
There's
like,
nothing left.
Ice.
Chickpeas, here you go.
I'm like, here's some Nutella. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm reading, first of all, I love that in your cookbook, you didn't give us a 2-page description of why you're making the dish. You know, you see those all the time. It's just a little blurb like that. But it says here, even though they're so retro, I can't help loving stuffed vegetables. Does food go out of style?
I think it's like clothing, right? Like if you keep your whole closet of clothes long enough, the stuff in the back of the closet makes its way back to the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you wear it. I think things come in and out of style. I think something's retro to me with food is a classic that you might like. Oh yeah, I forgot about how much I love eggplant parm. I'm bringing it back. It's a
love a stuffed
resurgence. And then you can act like you did something new when really you're just romantically recycling deliciousness. That's a chef's
the
job.
return of Jell-O salad, finally.
Oh, by the way, I love stuff like that.
Like the salad that shakes.
I just love layering all the herbs, like mint leaves inside the molds. I love cutting the slice and looking at it. I love that stuff.
Ants on a log.
Yeah, I love it.
You know what
I
that
love
is?
it.
Yes, I do.
Even that little like
like
Bouche
summer
de
camp.
Noël, like Christmas
Exactly.
cake with the little mushrooms on it and
yeah.
stuff.
Everything my mom did in the 1970s.
1978, bring it on. I love it. By the way, I forgot to mention also I'm opening a restaurant in the Historical Society, or
Like you
as
have-
they call it, Historical, on 77th and Central Park West. It's
As
called
if you
Clara.
have nothing else to do.
Well, I was just sitting around my apartment like, oh, you're so lazy.
You're busy. I see you everywhere constantly.
I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I see you everywhere constantly.
I'm never
show is a
anywhere.
constant in everyone's life for a reason, right? We're just out there doing it.
Okay. So it's called Clara.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's going to open on April 1st. I'm really pretty
That's
excited.
exciting.
Wow.
Oh, so close.
Okay. And you have time to come see us if you have an April 1st opening.
I thought I'd drop in,
Well, so Clara, when you decide to open a restaurant, you start with what? The vision of what the story should be that the food tells, or does that make sense?
Yeah.
What is that the first thing you think of? Like the story the food is going to tell will be this. I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, that sounds like a really smart answer. Like I'm actually going to reorient my whole life to this because it makes sense. But no, in all honesty, you make what you make. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
The stuff that you make
the
best.
food. You make the food that you make, and if you're not making that, like you're headed in that direction. Anyways, that's what I've discovered of all these years of cooking. If I'm making anything, inadvertently I return to this like little island where everything I love is, and I'm always living there. Right? They're just ingredients. I love vinegar. I love mustard. I love the acidity of that, the brightness. I would put mustard in a cake. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think I made a lasagna a few weeks ago, and I had some mustard and balsamic dressing on the counter, like for the salad.
Right.
And I just like drizzled a little on the lasagna. And then I heard, like my grandmother, like, did you just put mustard on the lasagna?
Was it before or after she tasted it?
She started breaking all the pasta. I don't know what happened.
Oh
She was
my
like,
God.
everybody, all the pasta must go.
So when you say something like you make what you make, do you get influenced at all by the trends right now? Like seed oils are bad for you and certain things are going to kill you.
I mean, I would say if something makes you die, then that's maybe beyond the trend category.
So no poison.
Definitely. I mean, definitely. And I think I deeply love olive oil. I just love it. I love coconut oil. There's so many great ways. There's so many ways to get through the oil question. Obviously, price is always a factor, right? Like people are like, why don't you just use avocado oil in your deep fryer? And I'm like, have you seen the price of avocado oil? Yeah, I'm gonna start selling everything just so I can fill the fryer. So there's that balance between if in a restaurant, the price, what it's doing for the consumer, how good it is for them. It's an equation, right? Which doesn't sound terribly romantic, but it always comes back to, at the end, does it taste good? Do we like this? Do we sign up for this? Right?
And going back to doing a reach around to what you were talking about a second ago, putting mustard on a lasagna and with balsamic, just don't tell anyone it's there. It's the same with anchovies. I put anchovies in almost every sauce I make, but I don't tell anyone.
Really smart.
Because they don't know it's there.
Yeah.
But
really smart.
There's something in there that they really like. They can't put their finger on it.
My rule is I don't put meat and not tell people. Like if it's a vegetable dish and there's meat or flour because of gluten or nuts. Those are kind of you got to always be transparent. But a little anchovy fillet here and there, forget it. You're not going to know.
Like mayo? Would you sneak some mayo in?
No.
Danielle will...
Throw it right out the building.
She'll start
Mayo's
heaving right now if you
disgusting.
start talking about
Why
mayo.
don't you give up mayo for Lent?
I've given up mayo a long time ago.
For life.
It just the thought of the creaminess and the texture of the mayo makes her very sick.
I have a question for you.
Is it about mayonnaise?
No.
What is it about mayonnaise?
Yeah,
that makes
well, I
you
want to
so
talk
ill?
about this.
Are you ready to see what she does?
When I was a
Danielle.
kid,
Come on.
we were in school, and they would call my mom and say, "You need to come pick Danielle up because she threw up at lunch." And then my mom would say, "Okay, did someone have mayo that sat next to her?" And then if they did, they'd send me back to class because I wasn't sick.
I see.
The mayo smell, I don't know what it is.
Oh, the
got
mayo
it.
smell and puke together.
Yeah, I'm not
Imagine
doing it.
that one.
I'm not doing it.
You had a
Listening.
question. You had a question, you said.
Yes. Oh, I wanted to know what Clara meant, what the restaurant name meant.
Clara Driscoll was one of the women that designed the first Tiffany lamp, and the Historical has a permanent collection of Tiffany lamps.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I'm sorry you don't like mayonnaise. It's going to be okay. Why don't you come over to the mustard side?
I love mustard. You can put mustard in everything.
Yeah, I really think mustard is the way to go.
See?
See?
We found your savior.
Do some
Thank you.
healing. It's okay.
I'm okay.
You'll be all right.
So Alex Guarnaschelli is here. The cookbook, this is her fifth one. It's called Italian American Forever. But I will be buying my own because I pay retail. I don't take freebies from my friends.
That's so sweet. I appreciate that. This was a really easy, fun book to write because it just came from the things that not only everybody wants to know about and loves, but me too. I
Right.
mean, it's really like, I just have such memories. I'm an only child. My father would make tomato sauce and ask me if it was better than my mother's. And then my mother would make tomato sauce and ask me if it was better than my father's.
wow.
I could not shock absorb with siblings or cousins. I was alone in the wild, wild west, just up the block here. I was eating that tomato sauce like, Dad, yours is so much better than Mom's. And my mom would be like, what did you say? And I'd be like, that yours is better than Dad's. So I think it's where I really like people are like, oh, did you have any media training? And I'm like, no, I just navigated two Italian parents.
There
Yeah,
you go.
you just know how to not ignite.
Diplomacy, right? Flattery.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
out of the building as fast as possible
Do
with a
not
bowl of
ignite an
spaghetti. Yeah.
All right, our friends at Nutella doing this great thing. If you missed it earlier, let's tell you one more time. You know, the men and women who are down there in the firehouse ready to jump to your defense and save your lives, your property, whatever. Let's take care of them.
Yeah.
These pancake kits that they can win.
Yep.
Pancake supper kits, thanks to Nutella. they can make these, open the firehouse, bring people in, make a lot of money because they need funding.
Yeah.
This is a great idea.
Such a traditional American way that firehouses fundraise, and just that it forges that sense of community, right? And that's kind of, why I really love it. The eating, the coming together, the cooking, all of that. And then what it does, you can find out more about it at NutellaStacksForGivingBack.com. And we already have over 10,000
Wow.
Nominees,
wild.
really?
nominees.
Let's go.
So get in there.
Let's double it up.
Yeah.
Let's double it up. Get out there, people.
You can also check out Nutella on their Instagram page, and all the information is there as well.
Yeah, and it's delicious. It's delicious.
Yes, it is.
I mean, other than your respect for Lee Schrager, I think I like you a lot.
He's gonna call in and say, I heard you.
No, he never
you're gonna
listens.
be you're gonna
He doesn't. He never listens to
you
this
are
show.
gonna so just to give some context, did you even say so Lee Schrager is the organizer of the New York City Wine and Food and the South Beach Wine and Food
He
Festivals.
makes that very clear every time he's on.
Yes.
And Nippy
Oh,
Whiff.
And right in Nassau Food and Wine, exactly. He's storming the universe one food festival at a time.
He
He really is. He's
And
amazing.
he is a dear friend. I just don't
love
like
him,
it when he speaks.
love him so much.
He actually was with Bobby Flay, and they were roasting each other. It was hysterical.
That was
Oh,
kinda
that's
nice.
It was
really sweet. So
so
you're
fun.
saying you love Lee as long as he's under 8 feet of glass.
Exactly.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Noted.
8 feet, maybe 10 feet of water, maybe.
Wow.
Italian American Forever from Alex Guarnaschelli with a Clara opening in April.
I'm gonna stay on your good side. This is what I've learned. I took some notes in here. No mayo, no cinnamon, no animosity. Got it.
No BS. We're good.
Yeah.
Alex, and thank you, Nutella, as well. Thank you for coming in today.
I love it. So fun.
Incredible.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.